First kind of guy I wanted to ask you a little bit about was Chris Slayton. Just kind of naturally, John's limited, I would assume. Chris is kind of the guy who fills in, gets some of those reps. How much more have you been able to see from him, and how's he doing early on?
He improved vastly from the spring. He was not bringing his feet with him. Now he's rolling off the ball. That's the biggest difference I see with him. He was hesitant coming off the ball spring, and at the end he got better, and then you're like, okay, is he going to increase from the time we left him because we can't coach him till now? And he did some good work, so now he's coming off the ball really good.
So it's more of a, I know he's gotten much stronger.
Oh, he's a strong
But
man.
This is a timing thing. This isn't related to strength.
No, it's just him coming off the ball and just coming off the ball and attacking the line of scrimmage instead of waiting and reacting. That's the biggest thing he had to get out of his mind. He did during the end of spring, and then he did obviously in the summer.
And maybe kind of looking at that D tackle, and you call some of those guys nose group as a whole. What other younger guys have you gone to take a look at with John obviously not going in team stuff?
Well, obviously Caton's the other person.
Yeah, Caton's starting. Yeah.
Caton and Chris have done a great job. The younger guys, as it is at this time of camp, they're swimming a little bit. They got school all day. I mean, we don't get to see them all day, and all of a sudden they're running practice, trying to learn the defense. So it usually settles down a little bit when we go to Fort Drum. So right now the defensive line, but they've shown talent. They just haven't shown great technique because they got to be taught that as they go. It's a progression as we go.
Knowing that those guys are going to have to play more than people maybe in their shoes last year, like Caton or when you had Jalen, is there anything you do differently in this kind of early camp setting with them to prepare them?
No, we kind of throw them to the fire because we got to play what we got to play, and they got to learn it. If you just hold off until the week before we played Rhode Island, they're not going to learn it. So it's kind of a trial by fire. They go out there and they mess it up, but eventually, as we see it more and more practices, they're getting it right. So hopefully by the time we get them back from Fort Drum, it's all kind of sank in.
I know you guys. Are you doing ones versus twos already? When you get team periods going?
Yeah, it's one versus twos.
So who are the twos on the line right now?
It's all the rookies because John's out.
Right.
So we don't have anybody else.
Steven and you rotate.
Yeah, we rotate them all.
Rotate all those guys.
Maybe it's two one day, and then the next day see what they got because we really don't know right now because they're swimming. You got to always put in your mind that they don't quite know what they're doing right now.
Sure.
So so the biggest thing is just the coming off the ball, the footwork, the hands. That's the first thing you got to teach. Then hopefully they start picking up the system as you go.
Sure. Switching over to Julian Wiggum, I know he's a guy who, just talking to him, he doesn't like what happened last year. He was not happy with himself. What have you seen him do differently, either physically, mentally? What's he kind of trying to do to right the ship?
I think he's more aggressive towards the ball. I've been in his ear all the time. I send him text messages. I say it's your ball because he was always in position. He just didn't make the play. So we just got to get him in the mind, which I think he is. He looks like he's going for the ball so far in camp. He's going after that ball. But hey, it's not their ball. It's your ball. Go get it.
I know he lines up with Ishmael a lot. I was talking with Steve the other day in one-on-ones. Is that kind of? Is there a reason you put them against each other?
We always try to go good on good out there. Yeah. And, in the team, it's not this ones versus twos, but when they do all the other drills, we want good on good. Defensive line, linebackers, wide receivers, DB, good on good.
So I know there's obviously always competition, but it does seem like Julian still got the inside edge to be a starter.
I wouldn't say the inside edge is still there. There's 5 guys that we were talking about yesterday. There's 5 guys that really can play for us. We're just starting camp. It's only 5th day. We got to see whether there's injuries. There's guys getting, as we more install, guys getting confused. So right now we feel we got 5 guys that can play corner. Now who rises to the top?